What are cheat meals? Well, cheat meals have come under debate for a while now inside the dieting, competing arena. They have their place. They're definitely a tool to be used during a diet to get ready for competition or for long-term success, but they are not what many people are making them out to be. Now, first of all, cheat would imply that you went off your diet and did something you weren't supposed to do. So technically it wouldn't be considered a cheat meal. And I've also heard it termed treat meal, which just absolutely drives me nuts because you don't deserve a treat, okay? If your trainer gives you a refeed meal, a junk meal, it's not because you were good on your diet. It should be because you need it to stimulate your metabolism, used as a tool. It has nothing to do with being good, like I did really good so I get a treat meal. No, you're not a dog. You don't get a treat for shaking hands, sitting, and laying down, okay? So that being said, how do you use a cheat meal or a treat meal or a refeed? I prefer to call it a refeed because it's usually put into the plan and it's planned and structured and controlled. So how do you use it? Well, unless you've been on a very strict eating plan for a few weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks sometimes, you shouldn't have a refeed meal, okay? Your body's not depleted enough. Your metabolism is not starting to slow down. You don't need it. If you're still gaining weight and you're not losing weight, you don't need it. If you're still not losing the amount of fat you want to lose, what makes you think that you should load up with a bunch of garbage? What makes you think that it'll make you lose more body fat? You're not losing body fat as it is. Now, the way that I used it in 2006 was I used a cheat day, not a meal, a day. And it worked. But what I had to do to get it to work is something entirely different. Now, 4 weeks I went without cheating or treating or refeeding or whatever you want to call it on my diet. And I would do a 3-day low carb, which was 80 grams of carbs, 1 day high, which was 150, 2 days low, or 1 day low, which was back to 80. Then Saturday what I would do was actually all liquid meals. Yep, protein drinks. Now, at midnight on Saturday night, I would begin the refeed. And that would usually start with Snickers bars, a gallon of milk, Reese's peanut butter cups, Hershey's bars, all kinds of random candy junk. And then I would go to bed, probably about 1:30 in the morning. And I would get up in the morning, and I would commence to go to McDonald's and eat 2 Big Mac extra value meals with apple pies. I mean, this came out to like 4,000 calories per sitting. That was just one meal. And I continued that all day long on Sunday. Now, then we're not talking about I went back to clean meals after that meal. Now, I ate more junk, more cookies, more ice cream. I ate pizza from Pizza Hut. I ate Taco Bell. I would throw protein shakes in here and there when I felt too full to eat, but I would stuff myself to, I came close to 8,000 to 10,000 calories routinely on that Sunday. And by the time I went to bed, I was so bloated I couldn't move. My stomach was full. I looked like I was ready to have a baby. But Monday morning when I woke up and went back to my 80 grams of carbs, by noontime I was starving. And my stomach was not only flat, but when I got on the scale, I'd be a pound lighter. I just ate like 12 pounds of food the day before. How could I be a pound lighter? Because my metabolism would speed up to the point where it thought that it had all these calories coming in and had to be burned. And when you drop the carbs and calories back down, it kept going. Now eventually it's going to slow down. But by the time it slows down, it's time for that refeed meal again. So that was just one way that I used it. And it's been termed many different things. I call it metabolic momentum, to where it's almost like you can push on the gas in your car and you take off. And when you take your foot off, you still continue to coast a little bit till you start to slow down. Then you hit the gas again, speed up, take your foot off, coast. And that's the way it worked. And it worked really well. You know, I got in shape. I got in my best shape ever. My skin was very thin. The people around me couldn't believe I was eating what I was eating and getting into shape. But the bottom line was my diet was so strict. I was doing 45 minutes of cardio twice a day, plus my weight workouts. I never cheated on my diet. I never ate anything that wasn't planned on it. And I put these refeeds in about 4 weeks into the diet. Worked like a charm. So let that be a lesson to you that they are a very good tool to be used. But you have to know how to use them. If you use them wrong, it's going to slow your progress, and it's going to make you gain fat instead of speeding up your metabolism. So hopefully, if you're working with a trainer or a coach or nutritionist, etc., or whatever you want to call them, a guru, that they understand this concept, and they're not just telling you to have these things to keep you happy so that you're not complaining that you're having a tough time on the diet. You're not supposed to have an easy time on the diet. Dieting is hard. If you're getting ready for competition, it's tough. Treat meals are not something that you should have just to make you happy. They're a tool. So good luck, and we'll see you soon.